Now let's go to the sell now or process further decision. So in some industries, a number of end products are produced from a single or common raw material input. So meaning there's one input, but there are several products being produced. Like for example, in a meat packing industry, a great variety of end products like ham, bacon, spare ribs, pork roasts, and so on are produced from a common input. And these products produced from a common input are called as joint products. So firms that produce several end products from a common input are faced with the problem of deciding how the joint product costs of that input is going to be divided among the joint products. So for example, the pork meat for the bacon, ham, pork roast, di ba, i-process man tong pork meat on niya before siya mahimong individual nga mga products. Pero katong gigasto para sa pag-process adtong raw meat, unsaon man to siya pagbahin. Okay? Nga lahi-lahi naman tong nahimong products in the end. Dili man siya nga from meat, bacon ra gyud ang naproduce. So, katong cost sa pag-process adto nga meat adto ra gyud siya padung sa bacon. Pero what if daghan ang nagama nga products? So joint product costs are used to describe those manufacturing costs that are incurred in producing the joint products up to the split off point. The split off point is that point in the manufacturing process at which the joint product can be recognized as separate product. So that is the point in time nga mabahin tong mga products nga na-produce. So, gikan sa meat, na segregate tong mga types of meat niya asa siya padung as end products. Kaya di man siya automatic nga pagka-process sa meat kaya nahimo na dayon siyang bacon, nahimo na dayon siyang spare ribs. So, after the split off, ma-identify na dito unsa man nga klase sa mga meat ang kinahanglan for each type of end product. So, lahi-lahi ang magamit sa ham, lahi-lahi ang magamit sa bacon, of course sa ribs ang magamit. Then later on, pag i-process further, mahimo na gid siyang ham, mahimo na siyang bacon, mahimo na siyang spare ribs. Joint product costs are irrelevant in decisions regarding what to do with the product from the split of point forward because they have already been incurred and therefore considered as sunk costs. Because whether we like it or not, the joint product should be incurred and these are already incurred in order to have the separate products. Costs incurred after the split of point for the benefit of only one particular product are called as separable costs. So each separate product after the split of point, pwede man na siyang i-process further. So katong mga costs to process further, the separate products after the split of point, so mao to gitawag nga separable costs. They are relevant costs in the sell or process further decision. After you separate the products at split of point, you can decide man if you are going to process it further para magamaog another product or you will sell it as is. So in a sell or process further decision, it will always be profitable to continue processing a joint product after the split off so long as the incremental value, which is the additional revenue, if you process the product, will exceed the incremental processing cost or the additional processing cost. Again, advisable nga i-process further kung ang additional nga kita that you will earn when you sell it after processing is greater than the related processing costs. So here we have the illustration. There are 3 products from a single raw material input. So here are the cost and revenue data. So for product A, B, and C, so here are the sales value at split off point. So may pasabot ani niya. So kung ibaligya nimo ni siya after silang mabahin, so di ba gikan sila sa one row input. Okay, so gikan sila sa one row input, unya na separate sila into different products. So nahimo siyang product A, product B, and product C. Si product A, B, and C after the split off, pwede na siyang mabaligya as is. So, pwede na siyang saleable na siya. So, pwede na siya mabaligya. Nga mauni siya ang iyahang selling price kung ibaligya na siya largo. So, for A, that's 60,000. For B, 75,000. And for C, 30,000. But if the company decides to process it further and improve the product or himuon siyang into another product, then it will entail 80,000. It will entail here further processing cost of 25,000. For B, kung imuhan na po siyang i-process further, maka-entail siya og 30,000. And for C, 5,000. And what would be the expected revenue kung i-process further? So, makadawat siya og 80,000 nga earnings kung i-process further ang A, 120,000 kung i-process further ang B, and 45,000 kung i-process further ang C. Then we also have here the data on the joint product cost. So sa kada isa nila, mausad nitong allocation adtong pag-separate sa tulo from the raw input. Okay. So what are the items that would be relevant in the decision making? So again, you need to compare the incremental revenue versus the incremental processing cost. So if the incremental revenue is greater than the incremental processing cost, then it's better to process it further and sell it after. So now let's analyze for each product. So for product A, you have 20,000 incremental revenue. How do you get the incremental revenue? You get the difference of the sales value after further processing and sales value at split off point. So, di ba kung ibaligya siya after processing, mo increase by 20,000. Mo ni siya additional nga revenue. For product B, you have 45,000. And for product C, 15,000. Then, compare that to the additional processing cost. Para ma-achieve ang 80,000, nga revenue or ma-achieve ning additional revenue nga 20,000, you need to spend. Okay? So you have 25,000 to spend for A, for B that's 30,000, for C 5,000. Ang net benefit or net pod nga loss kung i-process further would be as follows. For A, negative 5,000, B 15,000, then C 10,000. Therefore, which products should be processed further? So, of course, you're going to process further those products which have a net benefit after further processing, and that would be B and C. Meanwhile, dili man pod sanay nga tanan i-process further. So, if there are products that are better off not being processed further, then therefore, sell it at split off point. So therefore, product A would be sold at split off point. Kaya kung i-process mo siya further, malugi ang kumpanya by 5,000 pesos.
If you like this video, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated with the latest video lessons. Thank you for watching!